What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of the MySpace Effect, building influence and impact. I'm your host, Herschel and Peters. Thank you for joining me. I am excited about this episode. I'm almost done with this, I guess you can say, relationship series in regards to why relationships feel broken. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm tired. I wasn't gonna do no episode this week because I ended up working out with my brother. And for those that don't know, I have a brother who is probably one of the greatest left tackles in NFL history. And, me and him went to the gym the other day. And, I thought he was going to work out with me. It started out that way, but it didn't finish. And I'm still struggling. But I understand how he was able to last 20 years in the league and win a Super Bowl and be a future Hall of Famer. And so I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. But I said, you know what? Tony Braxton said it best. Just be a man about it. Huh? So I said, let me go ahead and knock out this episode real quick. Y'all be praying for me. Cause oh man. So what we gonna talk about today? Yes. Why women become guarded, or in other aspects, how women respond to male development levels in the sense of female adaptation. Women don't necessarily operate in a vacuum. They adapt to the level of men they encounter most often. Some adaptations is healthy and some are survival. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to try to talk about it tonight. All right, let's get it.
This is the MySpace Effect, where identity meets influence, depth over distraction, and becoming who you're called to be outweighs chasing attention. Hosted by Herschel M. Peters. Let's get into it.
In the last episode, we talked about the developmental stages of men: survival, validation, responsibility, and purpose. Tonight, I want to talk about something just as important regarding how women adapt to those levels. Because adaptation is not, and to make this clear, it is not rebellion. It's just response. That's all it is. It's just response. And it happens because, as I shared before, there's an ecosystem, there's an environment that's been created. And when women consistently, I don't care at whatever stage in life, as a little girl to a young woman, middle-aged, older, whatever's been consistent, when they always encounter unreliable leadership, emotionally immature men, validation-driven men, they adjust to it naturally. Not because they want to dominate, but because they need stability. Women need stability, and that's important because when leadership feels inconsistent, women stop waiting for it. They stop waiting for it. And that's why I said previously that it's not rebellion, and all adaptation is not negative. You have healthy adaptation. Women have some healthy aspects of adaptation, and most of the responses include independence, discernment, boundaries, emotional awareness, self-sufficiency. These are things that help protect women. These protective traits in women produce healthy adaptation, which help build strength without losing softness, which goes to the contrast. I talked about healthy, but also I talked about survival adaptation. If you go back and listen to the last episode, you'll see women obtain these survival adaptations based on dealing with tier 1 and tier 2 men, along the lines of having a survival mentality and validation, insecure, all about image and stuff like that. That can be very problematic. When women have to have those survival adaptations regarding those particular 2 tiers, then you begin to see women who are hyper control, very controlling. They have a level of distrust. It only makes sense. Dealing with somebody who has a survival mentality and seeking validation, that can really, there's no stability there. Some take on a masculinity adaptation, which can contribute to this defensiveness when it comes to communication. You say something, it's like barking. I'm telling you, there's something else. And these things just give understanding. It's not trying to crucify anybody, but this just gives clarity. And then one of the last things that you'll see from the root, you'll see a lot of different symptoms, but these are root things. Emotional walls. Emotional walls. For some, what looks like aggression is often accumulated disappointment. So that's why there's grace. It can be a lot, but at the end of the day, there's grace, there's understanding. That's why I'm talking about it. And it matters because adaptation can become one's identity. It can become one's identity. Some women adapt so long that they forget it was adaptation. So now this is my identity. Yeah. Those survival traits that protected you yesterday can literally block connection tomorrow. You have to think about that. Yeah. And that's why having alignment is so powerful. My whole purpose of talking about this is really to give understanding so that healthy relationships can be built. But you cannot have healthy relationships without formed men, aware women, and aligned development. You cannot, I want you to hear what I'm saying, you cannot heal relational chaos with individual blame. That's why I wanted to take a different approach, because there's many podcasts. There's enough he said, she said, blame all over the place. And people digest it. Some people love it. But sometimes you have to think about, if I keep digesting this, is this fueling something that has become my identity? Somebody that just blame? Or do I want to get to the root of something so that I can actually have something that's healthy in the future? That's why what I shared earlier, survival traits that protected yesterday can block connection tomorrow. That's so powerful, because you cannot heal relational chaos with individual blame. Something to think about. It is something to think about. And I hope that these things, even though brief, hope they really had a lasting impact, at least a snapshot. Try to keep my podcast short because people attention spans are short. And I want to be more thought provoking. And in the next episode, that's exactly what we'll talk about next week. Alignment. What happens when formed men and self-aware women actually meet? Because clarity changes everything. Clarity changes everything. So that's all I got tonight. That's all I got tonight. I got to get me some rest. But I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
If this added value, share it. If it challenged you, sit with it. And remember, the assignment is you.